Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tim Torok coming at you, and today is a rainy Wednesday morning, May 3rd, 2017, from Branson, Missouri. And I want to give you an update on my family's trip to the Promised Land Zoo in Branson yesterday. Now, the Promised Land Zoo gets its name from the very devout Christian nature of the family owners. And it is a nice zoo. I will point out that later this year, the zoo is expanding from 5 acres to 65. So that is a 1,200% increase. And so let's get into the pictures from this nice little zoo. So here is the first shot of Stephanie with a miniature member of the deer family. And here we have some red kangaroos. Off in the distance, you can see a muntjac deer, which is a funny-looking little creature. And here we have the first of 2 donkeys, and coming up we have the second of 2 donkeys. Pictured here is a Nubian Ibex from the Middle East. More muntjac deer. And you see more of the Nubian Ibex, and it looks like in the next shot you're going to see the same. Now, coming up here in the next shot, we have Braden with some Grant's zebras. All right, more of the Nubian Ibex. Looks like we got a ram. Braden. Nubian Ibex. Now, this next creature here, I'm not sure of exactly what its name is, but the guy that I overheard, did point out that it is still young, and then it's going to get about 1 to 1.5 more curls in its horns. So in this shot, we've got an emu on the right and what looks to be a simple goat on the left. And this is a large enclosure, so you'll see a lot of the same. But here we have another ibex. And then an emu again. So as you can see, Braden was having a lot of fun with the deer here as well. And looks like a cow, actually, but I don't think it is. This is an African sulcata tortoise. Here we have a black-tailed prairie dog in its community, and it lives in the Great Plains of the United States and just beyond. Here you can see a Bengal tiger in this shot, and the card reads that there are about 2,000 Bengal tigers left in the wild, and within 10 years it's projected that they'll be extinct in the wild. Here we have some cool macaws, and in the next shot we have Braden with some pygmy goats. And again, here's another shot of the Bengal tiger, and in the background and in the next shot you can see an African lioness, and it's important to point out that on the card it reads that African lions are the only cat to display sexual dimorphism, which is a readily identifiable difference between the male and the female. And in addition to that, it says that lions are the only truly social cat species. The core of a lion family, called a pride, is a group of related lionesses and their cubs. So here we have an olive baboon, which says that it exists in 25 countries in equatorial Africa. These actually look like baby emus to me, but I'm not for certain. So here we have the lovely Stephanie and Evelyn with a baby red kangaroo. And I believe that this is a small python, but I don't recall, I'm sorry. Now this guy is a Eurasian Eagle Owl, and what's interesting to point out here is if you look at the talons, or the claws, the guy said that the talons are the most feared thing on this animal because they exert up to 500 pounds of pressure per square inch, which he said was very intense, and I'm sure that it is. Now Stephanie paid for an upgraded package, and she was able to pet a sloth, which she apparently wanted to do her whole life. She wanted to play with one. Now, she wasn't able to play with it, but she was able to pet it. So that really rocked her world, if you will. So here's a shot of that. And just hanging out. So here we have the live animal show, and the first creature was a large African bullfrog. The second creature is an albino hedgehog. This is a blue-tongued skink. I was not familiar with skinks. They come from Australia and Asia. This is an armadillo. There are about 20 varieties of armadillos in existence, and this one was not able to curl up into a ball. We have an Argentine black and white Tegu, which is a lizard, and I was not familiar with these prior to this trip to Branson. And of course, what's a trip without some Madagascar hissing cockroaches? These guys were really cool to me because they're called micro monkeys, and they are cotton top tamarins. Now this is yet another cool find because it's another albino, but it's an albino Burmese python. And I'm going to read this to you because it's a little cool. Banana is the largest albino Burmese python in the United States. She is over 16 feet long and over 160 pounds. She was rescued by the Promised Land Zoo in 2006 and has thrived. She will eat once monthly, and her meal will be almost 30 pounds. While pythons are not poisonous, they do kill their prey by constriction and eat it whole. So, this, folks, is the Promised Land Zoo in Branson. It's a nice little joint. Very steep slopes, I might add, and it is worth coming. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is that there's a second location, which is near Branson, and that's Eagle Rock, Missouri. And I believe the Eagle Rock, Missouri location has a drive-through tour, so that's nice as well. This is the Promised Land Zoo in Branson. It is worth your while. It's a little pricey as far as zoos go, but it does have the animal encounters. So I do recommend it for the average tourist. And so that's what I have for you first this morning. As always, I thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments that you like. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you'd like to see. Share. And as always, I hope you guys have a great Wednesday, May 3rd, 2017. Thanks. Bye-bye.